Welcome back, Anna Marie. Welcome back. Good stuff. We've got out 4 today. So you want to check your VIP group? Morning, colleagues. Just give me a moment. I've got to write these trays down. First time here, I'm excited. Good stuff. Okay, just give me a moment. I've got to write these trays down. Just come out of the meeting, so there's a few here. Down. Good to have Mickey back. Just make sure. Just give me a second, guys. I'll be these down. Just come out of the meeting. Start off with the Dow. Six, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. Be with you in a second. I'm just writing all these guys down. So just give me a second here. Well, a little bit more than that. Give me a minute. Right, so that's sorted. Right. Be with you right now. Last one. Sorted. Now we can start. Right. Okay. Good. 4 have been sent out, but I've got 6 to look at. As long as you've got enough free margin, you can take them if you like them. Okay. First, good morning. Couple of first time. We'll come to that. Good morning to everyone in the war room. Yeah. Remember the old thing you put out there? No fighting in the war room, by the way, guys. Will there be any pitfall day? I hope so. There'll be any pitfall day. Pick this up, Mr. Marcus. Well, it's not actually, to be honestly, guys, it's actually closed half day today, but it'll be fairly simple because they'll be knocking off early. It's a bit like New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve when it falls on a weekday. The guys come in, skeleton staff come in because they have to have it open for a certain amount. So just after, and they'll close. Obviously, full day closed in the US tomorrow because of Independence Day. So it's not strictly closed, but it'll be light and half day. So you can
incoming mail.
Can get in and out of a couple if you want, but as I say, forget shares. We've got enough out anyway, but forget shares till Wednesday. Won't be playing around with them. Okay, but if you are in a share for whatever reason, you will be able to get out today. If you want to do just that and modify stock, because it will be over a short half-day period of time. Just want to clarify that. That's correct, indeed. Sure, Marcus, good stuff. Okay, right. Trades are going out as we speak. The VIP guys have got them fresh off the press. We'll be sending out some others there. You can look at them as they come out. I'll just go through them one by one. Before I do that, I'll just knock this guy off here. I've got it written down. We'll look at it again in a minute. Before we do that, just want to mention the other trades that got out, not doing too badly. The Euro CHF wasn't too bad. We'll come to that in a minute. Never mind that. The ones already will come to the moment. Before we look at anything, just want to mention you guys, thank goodness some people like you have to join us because that's great for their sake. You know what I mean? Because they need to get some practical knowledge. Remember, if you are new here, I take it you know how to operate the platform and you know the basics, what a lot size is. If you know absolutely nothing, you might get a bit confused. The trading room is designed not as a training, but a trading room where we go over stuff, practical trading, and it's based that you've got that prior basics knowledge, not a lot, but a basics. If you're completely non-knowledgeable, it might be an idea to do a couple of classes first. Otherwise, welcome, good to have you. And you know already, because you mentioned it, you can post in the chat line or unmute as you see fit. Okay, right, morning Wandili. Okay, it's like a family, it's a forum, we interact, we suggest trades. If I say something, and I do have a habit of speaking quickly, and remember, I'm doing this every day, and what's he on about? Just say, oh, by the way, what's that line on the chart? Or what do you mean by that? Or can you run that by me again? It is absolutely vital. I said every time, I'm not going to take a note of it, to have the confidence to interact. If you can't, too shy to interact, and you don't ask, and you're still in a fob, then there's no point continuing being in a fob. It's, you know, that's what the trading room is for. And just sit there, hope it's going to be downloaded, which I'm sure people think it's going to be loud, download your head just by attending. That's not going to work. It's an interactive forum where we together, I get ideas from you and myself, and hopefully we get better as we go along. You will not learn how to trade in 1 or 2 sessions here. That's impossible. It's an ongoing process, and even get pretty good at it and pretty experienced. It's good to have a family where you can throw ideas about and get some moral support, etc. And that's the whole idea behind it. And Licky, you've been great. You ask a couple of questions, you make sure you fully understand it. Don't be polite, so yes, I mean, what the hell's he on about? No, just try and clarify it. And, you know, toss your ego out. If I still not explain it properly or well enough, I'm sure there's some guys there will say, hang on, what he means is this. And, you know, help me out if you're not quite sure what I'm saying. But it's no good just sort of just sitting there on the off chance. This is a skill that's got to be learned, despite what you've heard or whatever. It is a skill that's got to be learned. We'll take some hard yards, a bit of graphs at the beginning, like any new skill, and it falls to place. It's a lot more fun, a lot easier. Hope we're all clear on that. Okay. Now, we've got a few trade ideas out. 4 being sent, and then we've got 2 more we can look at as well. I've got 6 down here. We'll start off, well, since you put it up, we want to put the NZD USD as a sell. We'll put it up for you now, guys. NZD USD is a sell. We will start off with that, and we'll go to trades when we're in. Make sure you've got enough free margin. If you haven't, either put more money in or just don't do the trade. Don't get yourself, you're risking margin call. If you know what that means, Google it. It's vital. Must not be margin call because you've got lack of funds to go into any more trades. Otherwise, it's going to hit you.
Incoming mode.
Okay, right. Start with NZD USD. Righty. Right. This we got down to sell. I'll put up the figures we got here. 61.44 as an entry. The guys got it fresh off the press have already taken it. These are the guys on the VIP group. We've got 2.5 grand or more, $150 or more. Well, they've got it at the 61.44 sell price. It's already gone down by about 10 pips. So you've got to check first what's worth chasing. That's the advantage of the VIP groups. You get it fresh off the press. Sometime by the time it's posted to you on the MT5, ship might have sell. Mind you, the other way around, might get a better price. So if you want to chase it now, it's up to you. Do your calculations. You've got the calculator there, resist size calculator. You must have that. It's quite simple. Live chat, go to technical support, and they'll put onto your laptop for you. And then you just check see it's worth chase this price, or we have to wait till it might bump up again. The ship might have sell. But that's one we've got out. Yeah, just check your MT5 box or your QT. If you're in, great stuff, you're in a profit already. Stop loss TP's all there. That's what I'm trying to do, Marcus. Thank you for that. That's what I'm trying to do. But I always say, help me to help you. If you don't, if you just look at the screen, hopefully, and if I say, do you understand that? No answer. Or does anyone not understand it? No answer. And then 10 minutes later, what do you talk about that? Well, you know, just say, I don't understand, I'll help you. But I can't read your minds, you know? And if you're so shy, you can't ask, because no one's going to laugh at you. We all have to start sometime. And quite frankly, it's bloody ignorant to laugh at somebody who was starting. You would like it the other way around, you know? So no one's going to laugh at you. Laugh at you if you don't interact, you do daft things, because you don't, then you will be laughed at, because you've unnecessarily lost the bucks. Hello, Jody, and new person. Just joined the meeting. Anything I missed? I don't know where we are right now. No problem there. No, it's going through trades as sent out to the people. Just remember, if you keep your free margin, make sure you've got enough money. That's one of the problems I keep saying to people. If you don't have much money in your account because you're scared to put more in, there's going to be a lot of times you can't take a trade, even one of them, because you'll be overexposed. Never mind 4 come out, because you can't even diversify. Everyone's heard of don't keep all the eggs in one basket, but you've got no choice if you've got tiny amounts of money, because it's not blaming them. If you have, but it just means it's like trying to fight with your hands tied behind your back. Sometimes you can't go for one trade, simply because the risk is too high on one. Never mind going 3 or 4, where you're spreading the risk. Let's say out of the 4, 3 come right, 1 doesn't, and you have to pick the wrong one. Then you're going to be even more fed up. So you do need knowledge, you need capital, and you need the right equipment to be successful in any business. And this is a business. And try and do it half-heartedly with no idea, no money, and not the right equipment, well, don't be surprised if it bites. Okay. I'm sorry, but Pietro, I have to do that. As any golfer will tell you, it's muscle memory until it sort of sinks in and the concept's got. And I reiterate, boring though it might be, bullet points. We spend so much time on details unnecessary, but I miss the bullet points. That's why I try and do it. Good, because then it becomes banged in your head, and you think, solid, just to shut him up, I might do that. Shutting me up is another story, that's the problem. But yeah, good. As long as it's successful, you can tease me, tease you, tease each other, as long as it's fun in banter. But the bottom line, these bullet points, far easier to, once you get the concept to work on, than hours of details, which a lot of it's extraneous anyway. Okay, so that's the NZD USD. You should have it. I don't know if we're chasing it now. It might not work. I'll just check it for you. We'll go through it now. We'll put in, we've got it 44. If we go in now, we might have got a risk report. Just check it. 0. I assume you all know I've got this one or know how to get it. If you don't, tell me and I'll explain again. It's very, very important. Do you go shopping without a budget? You can't go trading without knowing what the correct volumes are. When you put your volumes in and you trade. Overexposure is a problem. That's your problem. You can't go for the trade because the risk is now you're risking more than the profit potential if it's a TP. So you've missed that trade. Sorry about that, guys, you missed it. If you're in, stick with it, you're in profit, fantastico. The next one on the line, I don't know what's come up there, but I'm going to go through one by one, was the Dow. Was another one, don't know what's been sent out. I know what I've sent out, I don't know what's on MP5, that is. The Dow was one. We'll put it in the calculator for you, see if it can still be done. We'll use the same figures. We got 34396. Right, yeah, it should be virtually exactly the same. There's no problem there. You can go for this one if you like it. Remember, this is the micro, guys. This is the micro. If you go in the normal Dow, you need money in your account, basically. 3, 4. This is the micro. Put another 0 in. Put the micro in. Just let these guys in here. Okay, now that's risk rewards over 1.5. That's fine. 45. Put it 45 rand a micro. If you go in the normal one, it's 450 rand a micro. Then you've got to start talking about 5, 6, well, probably 6, 7 grand in your account. If you go in the normal one, upwards. So here, everybody can afford this one on the micro. If you've got more money, why waste your time? Listen, I don't use it. You have a bit more money in my account. So I use the normal Dow, the normal NAS, because I've got a higher balance. But if you've got a tiny little balance, please use the micro. Otherwise, you're going to get risk of margin call, or you might get a fantastic payday that you put. So don't rely on that. Okay, so there you are. If you like that one, there you are. The details are MT5 or on the VIP group, which are more just now after we finish the trades. Okay. Hope I'm not going too fast. A lot of things happening, so I've got to speed it up a bit. Make notes. Keep a piece of paper and pen handy. If you miss something, write it down. We'll cover it again. Help me to help you. We're on the same side. I get a kick out of seeing people come right, and I can't help a person by mind reading, unfortunately. Right, there you are. That's the Dow. Have you all got it? If you want it. Have you all got it? Can I move on? It's on your MT5 mailbox anyway. Right, come back if you missed it. Last one, GBP CAD. I've got 2 more to look at just now, which won't be sent out because I don't want to send out 6 because of, I don't know why they don't. I think they should be. Anyway, it's another story.
Incoming mail.
GBP CAD. This is a range trade. You see what I'm doing? It's range trading. So it's fairly straightforward. Get the calculator up. We got in for this one at 68.08. You might be able to still get it. It's not that far off. 68.64. $57.10. There we are. Fortunately, it's prefer above 1.5. It's your money. If you want to chase it there, you can. Because it looked like a good chance for a decent trade. So you can either chase it there, or the risk reward is not exactly very good. Or you can hopefully, not for your sake, not for ours, if you're already in it, a pullback so you get a better price. Up to you. But the trade idea was sent out at 68.08 on the bid or on the sell on this price. Clearly, it's dropped down by, 11 pips now. So the trades are going okay so far. Okay. That's why I talk about the VIP group, because you're getting them fresh off the press, and their guys would be in that trade now. Some guys who get it later on might find the ship or sell, but that's up to you. Now you've got the details. Okay. Hope you're all good. Got that? Well, there you are. So all you should have it. Happy? Can I move on? I'll move on then. Okay. No one's saying no, so I'll move on. Couple of new ones to look at. I'll start off NZD CHF. I've got it down to an enter at 55.07. See if that's shit. Yeah, getting a slightly better price. Move on. Thanks, Mandla. That's what I want. Someone to interact. Thank you, Mandla. Brilliant. Right. This one I've got down as 55.07. So we're getting a slightly better price. Remember, guys, if it says get in 55.12 and you want to sell it down and it's above that, that's a better price. You don't put a pending sell stop in. You want to go in that market because it's a better price. It's only if it's worse price. In the case for short below that, on the long, obviously it's the other way around. Then you have to quickly check, is it worth chasing? At the moment, I think it's worth chasing, so I'll put the calculator up for you and see what you guys think. But where's density? 55, 50. Oh, this is quite a what you call it? A short-term aggressive trade with a fairly tight stop and TP. Just trading the range.
Incoming mail.
Okay, this is purely a range trade. It's a new one. I haven't said this, don't worry. It's a new one. Let's knock this guy off here. There we go. To Cillian. Okay, this is a range trade. As you can see, and it's I'm putting the stop quite tight above there. If that's a little bit tight, maybe slightly wide. It's up to you, but that's where I've got it. I see some downside on this guy. There's a bit of support there, some sellers coming in, and this one's quite nice if you like it. You got it as a buy? Well, I think it's a sell. If you want to do it as a buy, that's your money. This whole idea. Remember, the market's made up with people with different opinions. And unlike Europe and America now, with a different opinion to the narrative, they shut you down and cancel you. Here, you won't be shut down or cancelled, because without opinions, you won't have a market. You've got to have a buyer and a seller who has an opposite opinion, the counterparty. Otherwise, you'll have a market. So if you want to buy it, fair enough. I've got it down here as a sell. That's my opinion. But if anyone wants to buy it, it's up to you. We've had it before. Put down the buy and the sell, the same instrument. Some people support the buy, some people support the sell. See how it pans out. Try and get rid of the egos and say, right, well done, George, you were right, I was wrong. Not, I was right, you were wrong. You got that wrong, or damn, I'm upset now because I got it wrong, you got it right, I'm going to burst into tears. No, it's we're working together here, and you learn humility that way. I will, you will, everybody will not get it right all the time. Luckily, the last while we're getting it right more times than not. Pretty good track record. Let's try and keep maintaining it. Okay. I like it. Yeah, go in now. Give you a better. I've got it down for 8 as an entry or 7 as an entry. It's 10 as an entry. It's 3 pips better. If you like it, you got the money, go for it. There's the figures. $80 a micro. I'm sure you can, when I say $80 a micro, you know what I mean. It's 80 rand per micro, depending on your account. So you've got to work out what you're prepared to risk your account. Guys got 20 grand or 50 grand or 100 grand in their account. They don't get 1 micro. I always find that to take the blindly obvious, but for some people new, maybe they're panicking, don't do that. I've seen guys with 10 grand accounts going 1 micro, 1 micro, 1 micro, and 6 trades. No, some are 1.2 micros, some might be 1, some might be 4, depending on the risk. That's what the whole thing's for. You don't buy 1 Rolls Royce or 1 box of matches, you buy 1 million boxes of matches, 1 Rolls. It's a different, different contract value. Common sense, hopefully common sense. The common sense part is the thing one has to grab. Yeah, I did a little bit, but yeah. It's slightly less inflationary. Not that I have a big problem with inflation there, to be honest, in Switzerland, but it might have a slightly benefit to the, a non-benefit to the currency, might weaken a little bit. Simple as that, yeah. Remember, as soon as it looks inflation, I think a big interest rate rises to start thinking a stronger currency, as a result of it. So, but still, yeah, I would back the Swiss over the New Zealand dollar anytime. At the moment, New Zealand dollar can change the situation, but not at the moment. But if you don't like it, don't do it. If you do like it, great. But there you are. If you like to sell, there you are. And yeah, have you all got that one? Right, I've written it down. This has not been sent out. So anybody like it? Remember the rules of the room of people just joined? 2 people or more like it, I write it down. I've written it down anyway. I'll tick out. If nobody likes it, we won't refer back to it. You got it, did you, Marcus? Get anybody else join this one? And then somebody we can refer back to. I'm not going to refer back to trades clearly that nobody wanted to go into. Pointless. You got it. Okay, right. So that's fine. So guys are in that. Great stuff. Can you please? I certainly can. I'm asking you, please. I'm joking, Jody. I don't know what you're talking about. Great stuff. Okay, so we can move on. AUDCAD is another one. Just knock this off. So we see what we're doing. It's another one. All themselves today, by the way. This one's another wrong one. Sorry, AUDCAD. Beg your pardon. AUDCAD. That's another one. Well, no kidding there. I think it's some more downside possibility there. Some might think it's a bit overcooked, oversold, yeah, whatever. It has jumped up a bit. The 10 days is the magenta's holding. It's clearly below the 50, the 200, and the 100-day moving average. So it's very much in the sell zone. It's popped up, and you can see the 10-day and this bit of support seems to be holding. So I thought there's a possibility of a bit more downside on this guy here. I will check the weekly for you, more details. Yeah, there seems to be a bit indecision on the weekly, but that's actually have to ignore that. Ignore the weekly because that's only started today. So clearly the weekly and the daily are exactly the same. Just don't forget that. Okay, right. This is the 4 hourly, and that started at 8, so it's really more close to 2 hours. Never mind. The 50 times 4 hours. Remember, it's 50 times the duration of the candlestick. Don't forget that. So it's the 50 times 4 hours seems to be handling, and that's why I've got a sell on it. Okay, position size calculator. I'll put it up or I've got it here. It's only 55. An aggressive trade, guys. An aggressive trade, this one. 88.50. And the TP 87.42. As you notice, I don't go for the fifth decimal place. It's only have any value in the fifth decimal place if you've got several million in your account. Small amounts, it's irrelevant. So after pips, it's actually 88.16. All that. Okay, so it's nice risk reward at 220. Call it 50 around a micro. That's a highly aggressive trade. What aggressive? What I mean aggressive means a short-term one, tight stop, tight TP, going for aggressive quick one. This one is not quite I can't tell with a day. Often it's a day trade, we might still be in tomorrow, depending. But normally you could get a result in a quicker period of time. Tight stop, tight TP. I tend to call that a more of aggressive one. But when you say aggressive is a bad one, we're not talking being gung-ho and jumping off closed eyes and hoping the best. See what happens. You know what I'm saying? Still a bit of science behind it. Well, hang on, we've got it down here for 12. And Nikki, this is important. I want everyone to understand this. I've got it down for 12 to get in. I've written it down for 12 originally when I got the trade idea. It's now selling it. It's a higher price, so it means it's a better price to sell it. So if it's a better price, would you not want a better price or would you want a worse price? Don't answer because it's clearly obvious. So this is a better price. I've got it down here, entry at 88.12. It's now 88.15 going short. It's going long, obviously it's a worse price. We're going short, so it's a better price. So go in at market. You understand? If I say buy at 10 and the price is at 9, why would you put a buy stop and buy at 10? No, you buy it at 9. If I say sell at 10, why would you sell at 11? If it's 11, you're selling at 10, you're getting a better price. Okay. So if you like the trade, the beauty, it's only 50 rand a micro. Everyone can afford it. Aggressive, short term, $100 per micro is return on it, and it's tight stop, tight TP. These basics one has to understand. Okay, Anna, brilliant. She's in. Anybody else on this one? Of course you can, Wandili. You can put any account. I'm trying to get people to understand that it's them and it's up to them. But the beauty where people who've got small accounts can do this. If you've got £1,000, you can't really go more than 100 rand risk. If you've got 2 grand, more than 200. But if you've got 500 rand, well, you're undercapitalized anyway. You can do this one. 90% of the trades you will not be able to do if you've got 500. And even then, you can only go one trade at a time. So you trade very rarely, and you have to have all your eggs in one basket because you're trying to attack the $1 trillion market with $30 US. Please think in that term, and then you understand. It's like me attempting a race on a bicycle against a bunch of cars. You're in. Okay, right. So we're in them. So just remember, guys, we've got 4 sent out, 6. You've got 2 pluses here. That's all very great. They're fantastic. But just remember, keep some free margin. Do not go in if you haven't got enough margin, or you will be margin called. It basically means no free margin. They'll start closing off trades until the margin is released. Let's say you got 4 open trades, they'll close the biggest, and it's still going as you close the next one. Never mind your stop losses, you must have free margin. You must do one daily. The problem is that most of the time you're going to be overexposed anyway, because you're trying to tackle a market, unfortunately, when you're undercapitalized. It's trying to go into business. I'm trying to open a business, let's say 2 grand. There's very few businesses going to open up with 2 grand. And if you can, don't expect many high returns. Otherwise, who's going to buy a £1 million KFC? You know, my business at 2 grand and get plenty of returns. What would be the point? One must think on the objective way, not just on what I've got and hope for the best job. Money management is absolutely crucial. What you do when you budget, you don't go and spend, you get paid into the month, you're going to spend all the money, and then all the debit orders come up. Now you're in debt, you can't pay the rent, now you've got a problem. Common sense. And they say the rich get rich, it's not fair, whatever. Well, it's just common sense. Of course they will. They've got more money, they can diversify, they get better equipment, they can get better teachers, better knowledge, better whatever. That's why people go for it. If it was, why would be no ambition to make more money if it was, everyone was equal on the amount of money they have. But again, it should in theory be obvious. So, but don't spend too much of your time spelling out the obvious, because it's frustrating, yeah, for everyone concerned. No, Jody, if you've got 100 rand in your account, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Unless you say you want to risk 100 rand, they need a minimum 1,000. Okay, but anyone open an account with 100 rand, just just please use some common sense. You can't buy a hamburger in a restaurant for 100 rand, and you want to tackle $1 trillion market. And what is that? It's about $5 or $6. That's what they tip in New York to take your bloody suitcase up to the room. No, I'm going to be quite brutally honest, guys. Start thinking. You try and go in this with 100 rand, you're wasting your time. It's not going to happen for you. And most of the trades you can't do because it's too little money. Enormous amount of work you've got to put in for the reward. It's like working 8 hours a day for about 1 rand a month or something. The returns you get, and if you get a return, and 1 loss means you've got no money anyway. You've got to have the capital. Please get this through. You've got to have capital. And try and say, I want to make a quick buck and give absolutely nothing means you're going to see your backside. You get my point. You've got to give to get a return. You've got to have knowledge, not 2 or 1 of them, you've got to have all 3. You've got to have the knowledge, which will help you, it's sure. The equipment, you can't do without the equipment. You can't do a Wi-Fi and an MT5 platform to put yours in, and you've got to have capital. Take 1 out of the equation, you can't trade. 100 rand is not capital. Hope I've got that. If you want to risk 100 rand, okay, but then you need about 1,000 or more in your account. But try to trade with 100 rand account. Well, I mean, please. Anybody think you can trade with 100 rand? Some guys out there. Anybody think 100 rand you can be successful in your trading career? Maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think? Not really. No, of course you can't. I hope no, obviously not. It should be. Pietro is an estate agent, and I phoned him up the other day. I'm looking to buy a property, and I've got 5,000 rand. Do you have any properties in your portfolio for 5,000 rand? He probably put the phone down on me if yeah, exactly. Laugh out loud. Exactly. Ridiculous. Okay. What was going to say there? Something up there was requested. 1%. Yeah, you can do 1 to 2%, but you really need a couple hundred grand in your account. If you got, so I don't know what you got in your account, Mark, because I haven't checked. But if you can't go 1%, if you've got about 4 or 5 grand in your account, if you've got 5 grand, 1%, what's that? $50. Most trades you can't do. You might be able to do this one, but that's about it. So you've got to up your percentage with smaller capital. You can reduce your percentage risk with bigger capital. Simple as that. So everyone understands that. Please, I beg of you, if you just learn, you'll put more money in later on, that's up to you. You just got to bear that in mind. I'll check your message. Did you send me one? Sorry, because on the WhatsApp, I'll just check that. Ah, yes, here we are. You've got plenty of free margin. I haven't checked your account. I can't stop the whole show now and check your price. You're very important. Just a second. I'm just going to 2 seconds. I'll just stop the share and just quickly check to see what the problem is, because we've got it handy there. No. See what you've done. Oh my goodness. Do you mind if I discuss it openly with you there, Anna? Because I've seen immediately what you've done. Just going to share again. Whoa. I've mentioned this before, Anna. Very, very important to share again. I've got the right one. That's the wrong one here. Give me a second. Sorry, everyone's getting in the way here. Just give me a moment. That's better. Where are we now? Okay, right. I've mentioned this before, and you've got to get that position size right. Do you mind if I discuss it openly? Okay, right. You've gone in with a full standard lot on the normal Dow. Do you know? Let's just go back to that to see what you've done. You've horrendously overexposed. That's why. On the Dow, it's not the micro, it's a normal Dow, one standard lot, far too big. Remember I mentioned the contract size on the micro is 1, on the normal Dow it's 10. Left click, right click. Let's go through this, all of you, this is important. You've got to get this volumes right. Contract size is 10. So when you go 1.0, that's the contract, your exposure is $343,000 US. What's that? That's about just about 6.2 off the top of my head. The current exchange rate is about 6.2 million rand exposure. Okay, now you're on 100 to 1. So what is your deposit on that? I'll tell you right now. Get the specifications. I'm going to find 100 to 1 up there. It's probably a bit more than that. So you're probably in the region of about 80 to 1. Remember, it says 100 to 1. It's about 80 to 1 leverage. So you divide 6.5 million by 80. And you'll come out with a figure. I will stick with dollar. You've got a dollar account. So you're at the moment exposure. You just bought a house for $343,000. That's your exposure movement. And your deposit on that will be wherever it is. So you've got all of your money in one specific enormously overexposed position. So I very strongly suggest, I'll stop the share again. It's quite important. There's a lot of money involved here. So very strongly suggest you cut. Remember I explained how you cut your position, doesn't close the whole lot. We'll go back again, just want to check it out for you. Where are you now? Before you get any more damage done, I suggest, you've already, I looked the wrong way. Okay, you've done it, you're out. Okay, right. Put up the position size calculator. Remember the risk on it you enter is about 450 on the normal, 450 rand per micro. So just do work that out. So 4,500 is 0.1. Have you got that, Anna? Yeah, thank God, because you're giving me the heebie-jeebies there. More worried about your money than you are. So if you want to risk 4,500 rand, it's 0.1 to get an idea because of the size of the Dow. Do you get it? Okay, so you can work it out accordingly. Sure, that's okay. That's fine. Okay, now you're okay. Now you've got plenty of free margin. You can do the other trades, but don't chase them. Do make sure the ship hasn't sailed. Very important. If you need any more of that, phone me after 11. We can chat. You're very important. You got a nice account to come to everyone, so I can. That's the reason I'm not doing afternoon shows anymore. So I can spend more time with people who've got larger accounts because it's better for the company. You know what I mean? It's clearly, I mean, the guy buys one pair of shoes per year, is obviously has less value. The guy buys 1,000 pairs of shoes a month. Clearly, common sense. So that's why it's important. You are one of those platinum, titanium clients. Please keep in touch with me on regularly and get this position size right if you're not sure for me. I am on your side. All right, going to share again. Very important. Okay. Hope you can all see the Dow Jones now. So if you can look at those trades, as long as the ship hadn't sell it, if it's a better price, go for it. If you like the trade. If it's a much worse price, don't chase it. You've got to make that decision yourself by doing the basic arithmetic. Very important. Thanks for drawing my attention to Hannah on the okay. Now, we'll ask me all sorts of questions now. But as I say, I'm in the trading room. Yeah. On the WhatsApp. I can't look at him now. I'm in the trading room. Okay, right. Okay, so we got that one sorted out. 100%, Anna. Very important you do what you did there. Please do that. Beg of you. You're paying for the service. Well, it's free, but I mean, in a way you are. Okay, right. Let's have a quick check of the trades we've got out already. Just a second. Let's make sure got this stuff out of the way. Let's have a look. We've got a few out. We've got the past US dollar stock down here, the dollar Swiss franc. Let's come first on my list. That was a sell at 89.73. It was in a profit earlier on today. Is anybody still in this? Remember, you can modify your stop loss once you're in a decent profit. Don't get your stop loss too close. So if something goes wrong, you're stopped out in a profit. I was stopped out in my trade today on the US dollar Swiss franc. Remember that I was stopped out today on the dollar Swiss franc, but I was stopped out in a nice profit. The reason being is I modified my stop. I kept it about 20-30 pips away from my entry, and it bounced, as you can see on a shorter term chart. Look at that, straight down here, and I got stopped out here somewhere, I can't remember. But it has jumped up quite a little bit on the Swissy coming out with a slightly better than expected CPI. It jumped 50 pips, took me out, so I'm out of that trade. If you're still in it, I still think it can work out for you. Leave your stop and TP in place. If you're out of it, maybe a chance at this stage of the game so you can join it again. If we can hold below 0.9, it might join again. I've actually done 2 trades on that one signal I sent out. One out, I got stopped out in a profit, pushed up, I went in again, stopped out in a profit, pushed up. So it's not let's get a TP, not a panic. Do not trade a winner into a loser by leaving a stop up here. It's gone right down here, you entered here, it's gone right down here, your stop's up here, and what happens? It goes up and knocks you out, and you turn a winner down here into a loser. Just bear that in mind. Don't stare at the thing all the time. I'm not staring at my trades. You can see I've got them pushed down below the level there. But check them now and again where it's worth modifying. Again, if, you know, like Anna and Matt, you know, if you're not sure, just say, shall I modify or whatever? I can check it out for you and then give us some advice on that. Okay. This is vital, Peter. Help me out on that as well, because some guys are not always getting it. So you need to point that out. Thank you. What he's basically saying is that don't get your stop too tight, because the last thing you want to get stopped out with a 10 rand profit, while as it goes to its destination, hits the target, you're not on board. You get my point. But keep a distance. But there's nothing worse is you go into this trade right now, stop there, TP down here, it gets here instead of here, shoots up and stops you out and give you how you fed up. So it goes down, modify your stop. Reduce risk till it's better than entry. Keep a distance. And then if you are stopped out, it's a profit. One dealer came up with it last week. I've stopped out, but in a profit. So remember, stopped out is not always bad news. Okay. Well, it's not great news. You want to hit TP and get that, but you know what I mean. I hope we're all clear on that. If not, write it down, ask, because these are vital bullet points. Poring over books and books of all that stuff, and then missing the vital bullet points is being an expert on under the bonnet of a motor car, but you can't change gear, so the car's useless to you because you can't drive it, even though you're an expert on the engineering below the bonnet. Same sort of principle. Hope we're all clear. Okay, so the other one was a Euro CH, a couple of actually, Euro CHF we got into last week. Gold did okay in the end. That's a point. Gold gave us some jip, 1890 was the stop, and he gave us a jip. It dropped below 90 on one stage, jumped up. I think most guys that took the profit, gave him too much jip, they took the profit in the end. It didn't get anywhere near the TP. We got about 1920 or something, just over there. You can see that, 1920 or something. So a lot of guys took it last week, be honest, because it's not looking pretty in the end. Okay, so yeah, there we are. So most guys are at it. Leave it alone. Gold is jumping around that range at the moment, and it doesn't seem to know too much what it wants to do. So leave it alone. Okay. You can, it should be there in your mailbox. But the original signal, I'll put it up for you if you like, was it's a better price now. If you like it, you can do it again, it's a better price. I'll put it up for you if you want to go. If you've got enough money, make sure you got enough free margin, like I said. The original price, we'll use the same stop loss, was 89.73. So it's a 10 pip better price. If you like it and go it again, I might do it myself. Give me a second to tell you guys what to do. I forget doing it myself. I miss a lot of trades that way. That's my not yours. 90.61. I missed most of the trades this morning, to be horribly honest. Busy getting the meetings, getting them out, and missed them. The shipper sell job. That's my problem, not yours. What was that? 88.18. See, hundreds of days. I don't know what you got one dealie, but if you got, even if you got $2,000 your account and your money's tied up in maybe a couple other trades, to risk this one 160 bucks a time might be a bit on the hectic side. You know what I mean? Certainly you will not be looking at if you've got less than about $2,000 your account, to be honest. Which otherwise is going to be overexposed. And even if you've got $2,000, if you're already in a couple of trades, you're getting a risk being margin call. Okay. But yeah, if you like it, you can afford it. This is a good one still to go back into. I like it. It's coming off nicely. I might do it myself, actually. Put the money where the mouth is. Where is it? CHF. Was 160, make it straight. Yeah, well, good enough. Good enough. I can do it fairly quick in my head because I'm practicing. Don't get too cute yourself on it. Do it properly. Was it 88.18? Remember, I do this all the time, so I can do it in my head pretty quickly, but don't you use a calculator and don't try and rush it. Solely. Okay, right. All right. So if you've got that, we can do it again. Look at the signal, it's already there. Just get rid of that. Don't like stare all the time. See trade levels, get rid of it. There we are. So stare all the time. Okay. Euro CHF was another one. It's a sell. Euro CHF. Where did we get it on this one? No, mine's in the problem. It's 97.87. It's popped up a bit, which is a bit of a nuisance. So I've been stopped out. I know that's right. Check. Pretty sure I'm stopped out on that one. That's still in one. Oh, good. I got in those prices there. Okay. Fair enough. Well, that's good enough. Then. So it's still in, but I'm in a profit. So what the hell? Anyway, I'm protected on that one. So if I read that right, it could be 97. It's talking rubbish. It's me wrong. Was it 98? Anyway, whatever. Anyway, the profit's there. So they've been profitable trades so far. And I think most of the guys, or quite a few guys actually last week WhatsApp me say thanks for a good week. Did okay out of it. So I think that most of the trades have gone well. One or two might not have. I think the majority went well. Good. Well, you don't have to miss it this time. If you like it, do it. This is a nice one. There you are. And then no problem at all. Put it up again for you. Okay, where are I? What was the price? 90.61. 0.9061 and 0.8818. 0.8818. There you are. Those are the figures. Look at it if you like. Good risk reward. 160 around a micro. If you want to risk 1600, it's one. If you start putting 1.0, that's 16,000. Just be careful of that. So don't overexpose. 60,000 rand of risk is on 60,000 rand is your risk on one standard lot. So obviously 1,600 on 0.1. Okay, just bear that in mind. Okay, right. So there you are. If you missed it, I've gone the third time on that one signal. What hit my stop? Profit. Hit my stop. Profit. We'll do the same as obviously if it does come right. So there we are. Got it. Good stuff. Always go back, always correct. If you missed it, say so. Go back and take long as the trading was for. So I'm here for the help if you need it. Okay, so right, the trade's already gone in. I just want to go over quickly. Some guys are not getting this as well, newer guys as well. You can partly close. You don't have to close the entire trade. There they come out there, all the details. You can partly close it. Right, US dollars, Swiss francs, got into that again. GP. Right, that's not looking so pretty now because it's bounced up. Where is it now? This is one I previously was in. Now that's been hit as well. But, all right, obviously my GBP CHF is hit as well. Mailbox. Sorry, it's true. Okay, that was good. What a pity. That was about 600-700 rand profit on stage. Anyway, it's a profit. Pity. Obviously, the market's jumped up a bit. But if you want to part close, I've got obviously 12 micros there. If I want to close, let's say 6, for example, you go to your volumes, highlight it like that, and double click. And I don't want to close my entire trade. So I'll go and I'm going to close. I'll just make a change. I'm going to close 0.05. Wow, what the hell? Just an example. So you get the concept. Okay. Then I press the close button, right? And then if I do that, that will change to 0.07, and that will obviously change accordingly. God, it's £3 profit up this morning. Some guys stopped out in the profit, and some come out. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. And don't try and stare it all the time. Keep it down there. See how it goes. Okay, right. We got the general idea. Now, I want to look at some of the trades we talked about earlier on, because I want to go and sit down, because I'm too busy with you guys. I'll do this one. Still okay. What's the risk? 80 rand. Get 0.2 on that one. I'll do it quickly because I do it in my head. It's actually probably near 0.22, but I'll do it. Okay. Stop loss 0.82. And the TP 0.8040. Correct. Yes, it is. So my market, there we are. NZD, USD. Didn't do that one. Just sorry, guys, give me a second here. What's the price there? 40, it's gone back up. See, it sometimes goes back. You know, you missed a trade there, don't panic. It can bounce back up again. What's the dollar doing? If you're not sure what that is, I'll send you this now. It's coming off a little bit. Just check your DXY. I'll copy it for you, those who haven't got it just now. 4400 bucks, 0.18. I'm making 0.2. Where's NZD, USD? Stick with that one. It's about right. 0.6198, 0.6080. Stole that one. And the GBP CAD, I didn't do that one. Is that still okay? GBP CAD 6808. Yes, it is. I'll do that as well. What's the price? 80 bucks, same amount. Let's see, 0.22. I haven't done that one, have I? No, I didn't. 0.22. 1.6864 and 1.67. Sorry, I miss them sometimes. We're too busy swapping meetings, coming to help you guys or whatever. So there we are. So at least we're in. Okay, I think that's that back a lot. I've done the NZD CHF. No, I haven't. I can do that one as well. I like that one. Don't think I did it, did I? What's NZD CHF? It's a sell 58. Nah, 50. Oh, yes, it's a better price. I like it. Maybe it's about the same. 55, 555, and 54. Okay, that's fine. That's done. Okay, right. Okay, so yeah, the trades. Don't forget, guys. I don't have to go no problems. Thank you very much for joining. Okay, right. Remember, look at the dollar yen. Sure. We'll go into that. Don't forget, the markets go up and down. We call that the noise. We'll not find a bottom or top. You just entered. and it might go against you, but stick with your strategy. If it's dropped down a bit, don't get too excited, it might pop back up again. If you missed the trade, you want to sell it there, for argument's sake, it's down here somewhere, don't panic and chase it, it might pop up. There's ways and means. You've got to think a little bit, look at the signal. You got to use your nous a little bit, yeah. Right. My problem with the dollar yen is it's just not getting a pullback, and I'm frightened at these levels. Who asked this one? Sam Keller. Yeah, I'm just frightened of these levels. Look, always put down when you want to look at a trade, whether you want to buy it or sell it. Just to say, look at it. And if you're already in it, tell me. Just say, I'm in a long on the dollar yen, or I'm short on the dollar yen, or I'm looking to buy the dollar yen, or I'm looking to sell it. Just looking at it, you've got to put, unfortunately, a bit of your own self on the line. People are terrified to give anything themselves, financial or whatever, but they want a lot in return. You've got to give and take. So I need to know which way you're looking at it. Now, that's fairly obvious. It's a strong upward cycle. My worry is the dollar's a little bit on the iffy side at the moment, but more to the point is I think the yen is a little bit on the weak side, to say the least. Now, and I think it's due for a little bit of strengthening up. So I'm not confident to buy the yen at the moment, and I'm very worried about selling at this level. Okay, so I'm personally not keen to chase it, but I could have said that there or there and missed out. Look how far it went up. It could bounce up to back to 1.50 again. Was there not so long ago? See, it's already been back at 150, so it could well get there. I'm just a bit frightened of these levels. It's gone up so much since May. That's what now? Yeah, in 2 months, it's gone up. How far? It's gone up. Yeah, it's gone up at 1,140 pips. I just think it might due for a bit of a profit-taking pullback or something like that. So I'm a little bit nervous simply because of that. Okay. Are you going to sell? I'm not sure I'd be selling. A bit late now to sell, I know, because it's such a strong upward surge. I'd want to have a little bit more confirmation of a pullback, maybe a break of this area here or something. But we shall see. We're going to sell and see what happens. Remember, I get when you're starting off your trading journey, it looks extremely low, extremely high. In your own head, you think, hang on a minute, that's too expensive now, it must come off. Often it is, but you don't know the extent of it. Before I'm selling that, I want more confirmation, but I ain't buying it here. But it is the top of the range. We're on the daily. That held the last couple of days, and it came in. So if you're in a sell, it might pull back 58 pips to that. And if you're going to sell, you probably want to come back a bit further. But I wouldn't suggest a trade now, but keep your fingers crossed. It could have a pullback. Okay, before I move on, NZDCHF, got that, some killer? Tell you what, it's quite a nice trade if you've got trade ideas and that going on. It sells, it's pleasant. There's nothing happening. It drives you insane. It's like being stuck in a traffic jam. We can, well, I'm not too keen on Brent. We'll certainly look at it, but I think probably best leave it alone. Quickly put out the, got it, stuff. NZDCHF. We've got one out at, yeah, it's going up a bit at the moment, so you like getting a better price. So put it up again if you missed it. Getting a lot better price. You might even want to have a higher stop loss. This one, I've got the stop loss got written down here. We might want to have a slightly wider. I've got put it in first, and we discuss it at 0 point. Okay. Yeah, it's gone up a bit. So because I've got it down at 07, I got a slightly better price. It's a lot better. But the stop loss still above the 50-day moving average. There's had a bit of a jump on the figures of CPI on the Swiss franc today. Is that going to be maintained? And a fairly weak currency. Well, I'm going to stick with that stop. But if you like it, you can put the stop maybe a bit higher to this guy here. Maybe a bit more out of the way. You're still getting a risk reward. It is 95 instead of what the other one was. So your position size will be smaller, but it might just, yeah, but it's still above these guys here. But my original stop was above here anyway, so I'm going to stick my original. So that's up to you. If you want to stick with that one, it's 55.60, or you can go with the original one, which is 55.50. 14 pips lower, your choice. Your choice, okay? And then work out the figures accordingly. Hope you're good with that. Are we good with that? You got that, Pietro? All good with it. Okay, fine. Move on. You want to look at Brent. Brent's a bit sideways. Don't you no, don't think you're on anyone on the VIP, I'll come to that in a minute after this one. Would have got my little weekly analysis at the bottom there. Brent is very much a we got a trade out. I think most people stopped out in the profit. I certainly was. We got a 78 TP still in it. It's $3 away. Where are you going to put your stop? If you're going to take it up there, are we on the daily? If you can take it there, it's only what, $2 away. We're going to put your stop down here. Clearly, it's not going to work. Stand aside, Nicky, on this one. Leave it alone. Oh, you're in a buy. Slight difference there. Be a bit nervous. You should be in a profit. Either take it or put your stop loss up. I'm very worried about it being overbought. But if you're in a buy, it's right at the top there. So clearly, you should be in a profit. Maybe modify your stop, protect yourself. Okay. I'm not sure we're going to get the break over there. We might, depending again on the non-farms coming up on Friday. If the non-farms are very, very good for the dollar, it probably will shoot up fire. But protect yourself because of the reason I just gave. Okay, hope you're clear on that. Going back to Nicky, yeah, I'm not sure I'll be getting too cute with it. Looks like technically might even have a bit of a pullback here, which could well happen. But remember, towards the end of the month, Saudis are going to bring down the production by 1 million. That's been discussed and discounted a lot in the market, but bear that is. But the other side is pushing the oil price down. Is Chinese a slightly less expansion, shall we say, in their economy than have for several years now. So there's one pushing it down and one pushing it up. Helps the range trade. All right, slap bang in the middle of the range. Leave it alone. Okay, hope we're good with that. And to say, protect yourself in the dollar yen, but if you're not in it, that's my strong suggestion there. Okay. Right, let's go quick check. Oh, yes, that's right. Now, it's very important to have the dollar index. I'll go to the non-farms in a minute because we have a straddle trade, you know. But that's only for people to attend. Let's just do one thing at a time, Roger. Just a second, confuse myself here. What the hell have I got in here now? Just a second. Sorry, what's happening? I've got this stuff in the way of my other screen. Just got to get it out of the way. It's doubling up and making a right mess of it. Right, it's clearer. Now, let me get a third screen. There you go. Just be patient. Dollar. Little dollar index, yeah. Okay, that's the dollar index, and I'm going to put the economic calendar. It's very important to understand the fundamentals that come out. As I mentioned about the fundamental indicator about the Swiss franc or where it happens to be. Copy. Clearly, the 3 stars more powerful than the 2. The 2 can be important as well, otherwise it wouldn't happen. Okay, so make sure you've got that handy. And the other one is my contact details. Again, please, you've got not demos and not with people who've got, well, tiny amounts of account or unfunded. What's a tiny amount? Well, I'll leave that to a bit of common sense. If you don't know what a tiny account is, you've got to ask yourself, is this business going to be for you? If you can't do basic arithmetic, you're going to battle to do this. You don't have to be a whiz at it, but you've got to have some idea. You've got to have a basic education, generally speaking, to go into a fairly complex derivatives market, which this is. Understand what margin, leverage, and that sort of thing. Okay, so if you've got $2.5 grand or more, or $150 or more in your account, please let me know if you want part of the service, and I'll upload you to my VIP account. VIP is a WhatsApp group which gives out daily morning updates, economic updates, other bits of interest, and you can get the trades fresh off the press before you get them on the MT5 mailbox. And sometimes you get it worse price, sure, if it moves against you, but sometimes a better price. It's in your own interest, you can. But the major reason behind, I mentioned that, is now you've got some money to trade with. You can diversify. You can go more trades than one of them. If you haven't got the funds, I'm going to honestly say your chance of you being successful is very small because you're just underfunded. So try and bear that in mind. I know it's psychologically new. I'm just going to start small amounts. I'm a bit nervous. I get that. But it's still, you've got to have the confidence to do it or not do it. You know, trying to make it with peanuts, it's going to be an uphill struggle. To say, I always like to say it's like going to battle with a spear and shield against a tank or a machine gun. It's, you know, there's millions of people out there trading. It's a zero-sum game. If you lose, the money's gone to the winner, vice versa. So if you've got no money, no knowledge, no nothing, and the guy's got more money, more knowledge, and et cetera, and more equipment, who do you think is likely? So give yourself a chance by getting some capital in there. Because again, if you haven't got it, fair enough. But the expectations the guys are coming in, it's actually unbelievable. They think they're going to start flying like a bloody 707 bloody jet aircraft. They've got a bicycle. I mean, it's just the expectations are beyond ludicrous. If you've got squat, put in squat, and you get a little back. It's common sense. Okay, hope we're all clear on that. Very important. Give yourself a chance, otherwise tears come in. Right, let's have a look. I'll give you that. Okay, if you want to check any information about the instrument, click on the instrument you're interested in, highlight it, then right-click, then go to specification, and then check the details out. They're all there. The margin, contract size, it's all there. Bit sideways. Don't forget your charts, right-click, go to templates, and don't forget to save your charts. So if you do lose them, put your name in there. And if you do lose them, just click on save. If you do lose them, it can easily happen. You just right-click, you go back to, where is it, templates, and pick the one you like, click on it, and the charts are up and running. Very important. Gold. Yeah, very iffy. It depends on the dollar index, like I've mentioned, and to a certain extent, I'll put it up, is the yields on the US dollar 10-year treasury note. Always check it out, Google it, perhaps something you need to know. Now what about that? Keep doing this. This thing keeps getting in the way and I click the wrong button. Just give me a second here. This is important as well. If you don't understand it, you've got to understand it.
Hi, Roger. I just wanted to ask you, could you just repeat which one over the moving average over the 200 and the other one you said is in the sell or the bar zone? Sure.
Okay, before I do that, I've just posted the yields on the 10-year note. Just remember, you've got the economic calendar, you've got the dollar index, and you've got the yields on the 10-year note. What does it actually mean? Is if the dollar increases and the yields increase, it is negative for gold. The fancy way of putting it is inversely proportional. So now if gold goes up, normally there's other factors, but a big factor is if dollar weakens, it's good for gold. If dollar strengthens, it's bad for gold. If the yields go up, it's bad for gold. Yields go down, it's good for gold. It's the other way around, going opposite directions. Okay, just bear that in mind. Right, where we got now? What's this thing I've got on here now? Where's all the other stuff? Where is it? Let's put this back on again because it looks a bit confusing. I'm just going to refresh this thing here. Just get rid of the yellow ones, confusing people, so I'll take that away. Right, okay. See when the template, pick one I save, up it comes, pops up nicely. Okay, save several if you want. Right, the moving average work as such. Where's the brown one? Oh, here we go. Right, that's the two. We'll do it in doing biggest going down. That's the two. All simple, not exponential, simple. That's the 200. See it there? That's the 200. This is the 100. This is the 50. And that's the 10. 10 times daily, 10 times weekly, or 10 times 4 hours, 10 times 1 hour, 10 times 1 month, or whatever. Bear that in mind. Okay. Right. What it does, it works as a filter, where it's in between not so much the 100, the most important ones, the 50 and the 200. They're internationally used, and so they're self-fulfilling. Right. If it's between, it's neutral. Above, it's strong. Below, it's weak. You can sometimes buy in a weak zone if it's grossly undervalued. I've sometimes sell in a buy zone as grossly overvalued. But the overall thing is you want to be looking to buy in and buy or sell in the neutral, buy in the strong, opposite sell in the weak area. It's also used as support resistance. So it might suddenly pop up here. This is a good example. Let's see, we'll stick with the old one then. It's a bit of the neutral zone at the moment. It's neutral. Look at those candles. Always look at the candles. Is there any movement sideways? There's not much action. So if you're in them, well, stay with your strategy. If you're out, I wouldn't play around with it now. So it's a neutral buy or sell it. If it was down here and it's going up, you'd wait till it hits this, comes off, then you'd sell it, put the stop up here and the TP down to previous high. If it's above here, coming off, buy it there, TP up there somewhere, and the stop loss below. Same sort of idea. I often use the 100 as well, the black line, for support or TV, but the brown and the blue one the most important. Just bear that in mind. Okay, very important.
Thank
far
you.
more got it, Nikki. Far more important to that in hordes and hordes of lagging indicators. They're telling you what's happened, not happening, but happened to the price. Remember, but I happen to know what's happened to the price. I want to know what the buyers and sellers are doing, and I get that from the candle. Let's go to a 1 hour candle. That candle's 1 hour. I can see for gold, the last 3 hours is down, bit of profit thing pop up. Is it like to come off again? Doesn't mean something to trade it, but the candle's seeing the few sellers coming in. I want to know what the buyers and sellers are doing. There's more buyers and sellers you want to be buying, more sellers and buyers you want to be selling, as long as you get a right entry, right risk reward, and a bit more to it, but that's why you come to the trading room. I can help you with that. Don't expect to learn that straight away. Don't get a bloody brainstorm of trying to pass a medical exam after one lesson, because you won't. Pick it up as you go along. And ask like you do there, Nikki, and quite frankly, as Pietro does, and Anna Marie occasionally does, ask a question. To be honest, they often know themselves, just to help out, to question me, so I will answer it for everybody there. They're asking it to assist the guys, because they're often too shy to ask themselves. But I've just found, again, with classes and all that, that they're still doing classes, I'm going to be cutting down, not enough attending. I did the calculator, and there's something like 9 or 10 people attended. If a guy can't help themselves, we can't help them. You've got to be prepared to, help yourself. If you can't help yourself, how can I help you? I mean, thousands of people trading, and even the ones that attended. I think you were there, Chris. Yeah, you were there, Chris. You know a bit about it. You interacted. I'm trying to plead them to interact. They don't, and they come out with still no knowledge, and they wonder why they don't make money. I just find it staggers me, actually. Yeah, I didn't go to class, by the way. I didn't bother pitching up. Went to the exam and failed. Why is that? Bloody silly exam, that. Incredible. Okay, but yeah, so and Friday evenings will be no more as well. Just simply, there's not enough attending. People attending would do it. But to employ somebody to go to lecture a class, no one's going to bother to pitch up or even take notes or even interact, cut them down. So we are having classes, all of them will be covered, but not on Saturday morning or Friday evening, just so you know. And you'll be sent out with the IDs of them all. Okay. Like putting on a concert and nobody turning up. I think it's still people looking for the Holy Grail no effort, no nothing, it's a return. And you're leaving in cuckoo land, unfortunately. And that's fairly obvious, not even harsh. It should be obvious. Okay, right. So gold, leave it alone if you're in, stick with strategy, but start reducing your risk of it. It's not pretty, it's sideways, and I think it's going to drift sideways going into the week. The non-farm payrolls is coming up at 2:30 on Friday. I will be doing my normal straddle trade session, starting at 2, ending around about 3, making sure we get all the positions in to do the straddle trade for the 2:30 data release. We can only get about 100 people on the Zoom, and it gets well attended, very well attended. So I'm saying, please do not join it if you're on a demo or you've got less than a couple of grand in your account. Okay, because you won't be able to make use of it because you haven't got enough money, and you'll be keeping out people who have got enough money, take this seriously, want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so if you have got squat on or on a demo, don't take up the seat of somebody who takes it seriously, who's got the money, who wants to do the straddle trade. But if you do, we've done it now for 2 or 3 months now, and virtually the CPI and the non-farms, which is 2 a month, we've had about an 80–90% hit rate on success. So here's a good thing to put some money in, and should do okay out of it. You'll never get 100%. Otherwise, there'll be no buyers and sellers. So always, sometimes it doesn't work out, but overwhelmingly, those who trade it will know this. There's a heavy hit rate. 4,000 is fine, Angel. 4,000 fine. In fact, if you got 4,000 rand, WhatsApp me and I'll put you. I'm talking about guys who put in 300 or 400 and expect to make money. I'm going to be honest with you, it irritates me because it's beyond ridiculous. Out on earth, can you expect to make money on not even a meal out for 2 in an international trading market? Like I said earlier to Pietro, I haven't got much money, Pietro, but I want to buy a house. So I got 5,000 rand. I mean, have a nice guy, Pietro, but behind your back, he's laughing at me. He thinks I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? Think. Thank you, Samuel. I'll certainly do that. But sure, sure. What did you do? Are you not a member of the group? You got 4 grand. 2.5 grand or more make you a member. Pleasure. Who was that? I'll put it down anyway. I think it was Angel. Yeah. WhatsApp me, Angel. I think you got my name just in case. Roger, I'll put it down again. I remember it costs, my time costs money as well. Again, it should be obvious. If it costs, you know, like a lawyer, 2,000 rand an hour to get you off a 100 rand parking ticket, it doesn't make sense. And people look at you askance, they can't seem to grasp that concept. And then if you can't grasp that, forget about the derivatives market, forget about life actually, because that's so blindly obvious. Don't be harsh, but please think. Oh, Angel, there you are. Angels, are you not a member? I'll put your name down just to make sure you change. Okay, and keep in touch. You are very important. Angel. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah, for sure. You got my details anyway. That sometimes happens. Remember the Dow? It is surprising, but I've seen it happen, Roy. So remember the Dow is at top 30 companies, period. The NAS is not totally, there's 3,000 composite 900, where it's NAS 100 shares, and they're not completely, but mostly techs. Okay. Now, the Apples are big enough to be in the Dow as well as the NAS. But however, sometimes you can have a slight difference, but it usually doesn't last long. But they're not exactly the same, you know what I mean? But sometimes you do have a slightly out of course, but it usually evens up. Simple as that. Because maybe, you know, I mean, I don't know, Ford or I don't know, Coca-Cola or Walmart had a phenomenal run, would push the Dow up. And then maybe, I don't know, Google and Microsoft get some bad reports, might have pulled it back. Even though they are members of it, the stronger ones might have pushed the Dow up a bit more, and the NAS come off a bit. But normally it's sort of similar, but not exact. So that makes sense. Okay, Jody, good stuff. Okay, simple. I hope that makes sense. Good. Right. If I missed anybody there, don't think so. I have just put it. If I missed somebody, please put it down again. Nas. It's gone up slightly, and the Dow. Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, this happens. That's last couple of months has done that. A couple of months ago it did that. It's quite surprising. Okay, Naz, I think it's overcooked. I'm scared to buy it now. I'm just worried about these heights. It hasn't seemed to have broken yet above those highs. It might do. I'm nervous at these heights to buy it, but I haven't got enough confirmation yet that I'm comfortable enough to sell it. I'm personally leave the Naz alone for the moment. I got ahead of myself last week on the Naz and I made a critical mistake. And I'll own up, to be honest. I was that convinced in my own head, my emotion took over and I overexposed. It came back and bit. But that was my mistake and I realized. I didn't blame the Naz, I didn't blame the world, I didn't blame Ramaphosa, the ANC, the DP, whoever. It was my fault. I accept it. We're all human. We get carried away. We're convinced something. Just beware. And I've been doing it for a while. I still make mistakes. So I'm just sharing that with you. We can all make it. So I'll be disciplined like I wasn't there. The moment I'll just give it a bit of a miss. Okay, it sounds very good. I hope you're not being rude to me there because I think I don't understand that. But if you mean have a lucky day, I don't know, but I'm just guessing. Unfortunately, I'm fully unilingual, I'm afraid to say. No excuse, just a bit lazy. That's what I'm thinking, Martin. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's my take as well. But I want to confirm. I'm going to jump in now. Got called away last week. Jumping in, I thought the time came off, and it did do it. I then bloody didn't get up again. And I overexposed. I was that convinced. My fault, annoyed with myself, trying not to make a habit of doing it. It's nice to know the feeling if you've done it before. Even the guys like myself can do it. It's like watching a pro golfer getting a triple bogey. Makes them feel more human. Okay, Chris. Well, yeah. So I'm totally with you on that, Martin. Just give this a miss, wait for confirmation. But I'm scared to buy it at the moment, even though it's very powerful. No, the problem is a half day today in the US. It's a full day off tomorrow. So there's not really much going to happen on the shares till Wednesday. So we won't be doing anything on that. And we've got no real confirmation either. But I'm thinking there could be a possibility going at the end of the week. Maybe see what happens on non-farm on Friday. But we'll see what happens there. But Microsoft and Ford, I think it's about time due for a pullback. But I doubt we're going to be looking at it much before next week. You can certainly ask on Wednesday, but I'll be a little bit nervous of non-farm coming on Friday. Remember, we have something called the ADP on Wednesday, automatic data processing, which is a precursor of the jobs report, and then Thursday the weekly, and then of course the big one on Friday. So probably before we get cute with that, I'm thinking it'll probably go into next week. Okay, there you are, Nikki. Why, you got any questions? Excuse me. I do, as you probably know, doing a lot of tea. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, no other questions. Okay. Right, let's just quickly check before we go into the close how our trades are gone. Dow was at 396. What's it doing at the moment? Uh, 34396, 34. That's coming right. Well, slowly jumps around, quite volatile, slightly in profit. At least that's the name of the game. What's the next one? Alphabet AUDCAD. Anyone took that one? That was a sell. It's slightly up. Give it a chance. Slightly up. The 10 days holding. Maybe that was continue to hold. Slightly up, but not much. What's the next one? GBP CAD. That was at 808, slightly in profit. See how that goes. That's good. Then we're going to the NZD CAD, NZD CHF rather, in alphabetical order. NZD CHF, a sell at 07, slightly down, but not enough. Might go up a bit more. Stops up there. Stick with it. NZD CAD. That was at 43, 656 pips. That's nothing. Really even Steven, and USD. 1 pip in profit if that's about even Stevens. So, okay, so let him run, give him a bit of a chance. Quickly ran through that little lot. So that seems to be fine. You've all got how to save your charts. You've got my number if you need it. What else? You got the DXY, the dollar index, the yields. Any questions on the yields? Yeah, DXY. Well, maybe just quickly answer it. Can answer it now. You've got how to save your charts. You've got your moving averages on. You know how to go to position size calculator. If you haven't got it, get it from the live chat on technical support. Get your volumes correct. And then, you know, if you want to check anything, right click. Specification gives you the details there. If you're not sure, go to classes, ask them in the trading room or whatever. But there's no point looking at something that's meaning to you, then you got to ask. If you don't ask, it's still meaning to you. Well, look, what do we say? Go to class to learn. If you don't interact and ask, well, I know. Okay, I think I've covered most of the stuff going in. Right, any final questions? Fantastic, Anna Maria, and your support as always. Angel, I'll just check. I think you're on my WhatsApp, but if not, just WhatsApp me, okay? You've got my number, and I'll put you on my VIP. Right. Any questions, final questions before we go to the close? I don't mind going over as long as you're clear on what's going on. Good. Be Wednesday, okay? Remember, I'm on every day, Monday to Friday, but Wednesday's fine. That's when you can make it. Good stuff. All right, guys, if that's it then. Okay, thank you. You're a CHF. I probably think I'd say yes without looking at it. It has popped up. It's a bit of a nuisance. That's holding on the hourly. 200 hourly is holding. 15 minutes. Yeah, hold it. Seems to be coming back again. I'm back in the Swiss over the euro. Had a bit of a jump today, guys. Precious and Company, because the CPI was a little bit better than expected, which is slightly deflationary. So it puts off any other increased rates in the near future to be increase in interest rates in the new future to be increased. Remember that? So that had a slight weakening of the Swiss franc. I'm not sure it's going to be sustained. And looking at it now, it looks like a few sales are coming back in again. So I would suggest hold it, yes. Okay, right. Now, the dollar index, let's start with the dollar index. The dollar index, if you have the index is made up of 6 currencies. So we'll go back simple English. The dollar, it strengthens, it's negative for gold. It's the opposite direction. You see the dollar index starting to go up quite a bit. The likelihood of gold will come off. Okay, this guy joining up a bit late. It's exactly the same principle on the yields. If you see the yields going up, it's negative for gold and vice versa. So you see the yields and the dollar start to come off, the likelihood of increasing the gold price and vice versa, like I said. Hope that's clear now. That's why I put it up there. This is a quick check. Plus, you need the dollar index to check on the dollar strength or weakness for currency pairs. And you need it for things like the indices. You know, often, not always, there's nothing concrete in this business, but often if you get the dollar weakening, you do get a bit of strength in the indices and vice versa. So the dollar has a negative effect on gold. Obviously, a negative, if the dollar goes up, has a positive effect, obviously, on the dollar, but a negative effect on gold and the indices, generally speaking. Please remember, nothing is cut and dried. If it ever becomes cut and dried, you won't have a market to trade because you've got to have two different opinions. One guy thinks one way, another guy thinks the other way. I want to buy it, you want to sell it. Let's do business. We both want to buy it, nobody wants to sell it, we can't do business. You get the general idea. That's very important. Get away from the no-brainer dream, I'm going to put nothing in to get a lot out. That is the quickest way to get disappointment. If you put in money, time, effort, blah, 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 chance you get out more. Well, I can't tell Nicky the guy to get out of it. It's because if I say get out of gold and it starts and you're long and it starts shooting up, you're happy with me. But I'm a bit wary of it. Yeah, I suggest get your stop loss a little bit closer, or take it's up to you. But at the moment, it's going to drift around. Might pull up a bit, might pop up a bit. It's drifting at the moment. And remember, half the Yanks are going to be not at their for half a day. Half the Americans are going to be at their seat for half a trading day, and tomorrow it's going to be fairly quiet sideways. So yeah, I'll leave in your hands on that information. Got information. Excuse me. Got information. Now you can make that decision. But I think personally, gold, I think it's going to drift around about 1905-6, maybe 1915-16. I don't expect a very big range trade. The Americans are very big players in the world markets with a day and a half off. Don't expect much action till Wednesday. Okay. But it might. The dollar could easily weaken, the dollar go back, the gold could go back up again. So yeah, as long as you haven't got, you've got your position size right, let it go. Okay. All righty, fantastic, Nicky. And don't forget, guys, once you can afford to, try and get, you have to have a hoard in it, try and get a reasonable amount in your account so you can diversify. It's a worry if you're going a one trade at a time because you haven't got enough money going for 2 or 3. You need to spread your risk by going 2 or 3, but you can't do that on lack of funds. That's the problem. That's my major problem, is lack of funds, is you're continually battling to get into a trade because otherwise you don't have free margin. And then you can only go in one because you've got enough free margin to go in others. You get the idea. You need to be able to diversify. Hope that's all clear. Fantastic, guys. Okay, catch you tomorrow morning. And don't forget the non-farms. If you've got the Tom Frit, repeating it going on for the 2 o'clock Friday session. Been done pretty well before. There's no reason why I should do it again. Well, there you are. You see, what you're doing there, one thing is you're thinking. That's 100%. Great stuff, Samuel. That's fine. Thank you very much, Roy. You're thinking, yeah. Now, see, what I'm trying to build up, Roy, probably guests and the other guys, I'm trying to build up that a bit of trust and feel if it goes wrong, at least being honest about it. Because the problem is there's so many guys out there talking a lot of BS and you can't trust them. I'm trying to get credibility and trust going. I can't predict the price. I don't know if it's going to go up or down. Depends on market action. But try and build that up. Even if I'm a bit harsh, at least it's honest. Okay. Because I think it's wrong to try and go out, put 100 Rand in and think he's going to make money in the market. It's just not fair on the person. Okay, good stuff. Catch you.